Pop quiz, chess kids. Do you recognize the position on the chessboard? Of course you do, but you also don't. You've seen it a million times, but today we're going to look at maybe the most famous game that ever began with E4. This is the actual chess game from Harry Potter and the giant-sized goblet of everlasting eternity stone. No, the Sorcerer Stone. The very first Harry Potter movie, and I remember this movie well because it was my first year as a chess teacher, and all the kids asked me to teach them wizard's chess, so I just lied. I told them regular chess is wizard's chess. Why not, right? Okay, now, in the movie, E4 happened, and the director really wanted a capture first. Now, it would be kind of crazy if Black moved the F-pawn, right? That is actually Team Harry Potter. So we actually had a Scandinavian with D5 because that allowed the viewer to see a capture right away. The white pawn pulled out the sword and, well, took care of business on the D5 pawn. Now, the game fast forwards rather quickly into the middle game and then the ending sequence. And we, well, by we, I mean me, have researched the internet to find the exact chess position that was filmed, although in the movie, you cannot see all of it. And it was actually this position. I want to give a shout out to International Master Jeremy Silman, who was actually the chess consultant and created this position for the movie, although not all of his moves made it into the movie. Okay, so this is the chessboard. You can't really tell in the movie, but you're just going to have to trust Papa FunMaster on this one. And what white did was capture this pawn on d3. Queen takes d3. Now, we should set the scene because there are three main characters from the movie that are appearing here as Team Black. We had Ron, the knight, on g5. We had Harry Potter himself, this bishop way over here on a3. And of course, who can forget Hermione was this rook down here on the square f8. Now, this queen is kind of the villain. So we want the queen to play a big part in this scene. That's why the queen just captured the pawn. She did not capture the pawn in a nice way. But Jeremy Silman, when creating this position, he wanted the queen to get captured in the course of checkmate, but also for the queen to do some capturing before the checkmate to show her evilness. Okay, so the funny thing is, in this position, this rook gives itself away. Now that rook is not a major character, okay? The point of this move is to clear out this square for Harry Potter. It wasn't actually a discovered attack on the rook. The scene needs to have Harry Potter get to c5. Now, the queen captured, and in this position, what I was trying to say before, the funny thing is that it's actually mate in two, but this may be the one time in all of chess where I tell you there's a problem with playing mate in two. If this was a ChessKid puzzle, you'd have to play the mate in two. But if you play the mate in two, that begins with bishop c5, but that means Harry himself would get captured, and then we wouldn't have all of the other 47 movies, right? The queen would capture, and even though Ron would become the hero, we'd have to totally rename all the books and the movies, and that wouldn't work. That is actually checkmate. You can study it carefully because Hermione does her job on this file, and this bishop, which doesn't actually have a name, clears out the diagonal. Let's go back to this position. So what do we do? Well, poor old Ron, brave Ron, says that he's got to give himself away. He's got to sacrifice himself for the good of the movie franchise. And Ron plays knight to h3 check. That is a decoy. That is a ChessKid tactic. The queen has to capture the knight, which runs away from protection of c5 and allows Harry Potter to be the hero. Now, what we see in the movie is Ron, well, Ron's game is over. And what we see is this bishop landing on e3, that square that I've just highlighted, without a capture for checkmate. But as I think you know from your ChessKid lessons, bishops do not move sideways. And even if the bishop could move there, well, then the evil old queen would capture.
Hello.
So the in-between move, if you want to call it that, was not captured in the movie. But bishop c5 check surely happened, or should we say Harry to the square c5. I thought Harry was the h-pawn. I guess not. Okay. Now white has one move, which is the evil old queen blocking on e3. And then the scene ends with Harry landing on e3, announcing checkmate. You can see here on the chessboard it was an actual capture, although in the movie it's not that clear that it was a capture. It kind of just looks like Harry was waltzing on down to e3 without making a capture. But there you go. That is the famous movie scene from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Not so clear in the Hollywood depiction, but here in ChessKid land, you got to see wizard's chess in all its glory.